Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Valentine Sports Show. I'm your host, Frank Rampin, alongside Sal Grinstead, here to make our predictions for Week 11 of the college football season. And Sal, last Saturday, I was sitting on my couch and I was watching those games, struggling because we don't have ESPN on YouTube TV. Let's just point that out again. Struggling because, man, everything I said was going to happen did not happen. Every team I picked to win, oh boy, were they down, and most of the time they were down big. Not good. So, Sal, let me hear it. What did we do last week? What were the scores?
I had a subpar week above 500, and you had a shit week, very shitty week. You went 3-8 on the weekend.
Oh,
For some reason, we picked 11 games last weekend because we had to get the Army Air Force game in there. At least we both got that one right. But yeah, 3-8 for you. Completely abolished the lead you had. You're now
I was
32
29-11.
Now you're now 32-19. So not all that pretty for you. I went 6-5 on the weekend. Still nothing special. But it does even me up with you. I'm 32-19. So
Wow.
you got your work cut out for you now, Frank.
That is brutal. What a brutal week 10 I had after a hot start, 9-week hot start. Oh, I guess not 9-week, but whatever. We got it. Just disgusting. We got to figure that out. We got to change this now. So another big week of college football. The college football playoff rankings came out on Tuesday, so we'll talk about that too. But what games we're going to talk about, Sal? What do we got?
I got 10 games laid out for us. I mean, obviously there's the big games everybody knows about, all the ranked matchups. Outside of that, it kind of fizzles out. But I got some games to look out for. Some ranked versus unranked matchups, a few unranked matchups. Just fun games to watch for the weekend.
Gotta love it.
We'll start it off in the Big 12 because it's always fun to watch. Iowa State at TCU. This is a 6-2 TCU team. I know they're not necessarily in the talks for the Big 12, but they could potentially be. I believe they play BYU next weekend. So they have an opportunity in front of them. What do you got?
This is going to be an interesting game. I feel like I've ridden on the TCU bandwagon quite a few times this year. They've done me well, and they've kind of turned on me quite a few times. I think I'm 1-1 there. So it could be interesting. I've gone against Rocco Beck and Iowa State a few times. I like the experience here. I like Rocco Beck. I think the Cyclones will get this one done.
Wow. Really?
I do. I think
first big one of the weekend. This is a 5-4 Iowa State team you are sticking with, just to remind you.
Yes, sir.
I like TCU. They have a 6.5 spread. They might cover it. They might not, but I know Josh Hoover and the boys are going to be slinging the rock. I got TCU to go 7-2 and potentially get ranked in the second CFB rankings of the year.
I just think weird things happen in the Big 12 in November, dude.
They always do. Another unranked matchup, which would have been a ranked matchup all year until the CFB rankings came out, is Tulane at Memphis. Memphis, we were all expecting to be in that top 25. Obviously, they just missed the cusp. They are still the team in the playoff, but no longer ranked. What do you got?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Memphis, we had that big game, talked about it against USF. They had a massive win, big comeback in that game. I like their quarterback. I think that they're a solid team. Jake Retzlaff, the old BYU quarterback, is down at Tulane, obviously. But as of right now, Memphis, the Group of 5 team that will be in the college football playoff, I'm going to stick with the Tigers. Give me Memphis.
If Tulane wins this game, the Group of 5 conversation is a complete toss-up. I mean, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer at that point either. And with that being said, I think that would be kind of fun to see. I got Tulane winning this one on the road.
Wow. All right, so we're differences right off the bat for 2 for 2. Let me point out one thing here, Sal. I think I talked about how the 12-team playoff could maybe dilute the field and, like, are there really 12 teams that can win the national championship? So now I want to bring up a different kind of argument that has been talked about before. But so last year it was the top 4 have to be conference champion winners, right? That kind of screwed everything up because they were ACC, Big 12. They weren't in the top 4, so everyone got mad. We got rid of that. We have a 5th team, right? Group of 5 automatically gets a bid. The best Group of 5 team in the country automatically is going to get in. So last year, in the first year of that, the Group of 5 team that got in finished the season as the number 9 overall team in the entire country, right? They were the 3 seed in the bracket. So that team was amazing. They were not top 10 to end the season. Like, that's a great team. Hard to do for the Group of 5. Is that ever going to happen again? Like
I
with
thought
the
it was
money
going
and
to.
NIL, with all that stuff, is it ever going to happen again?
I think NIL actually kind of evens the field for the group of fives a little bit.
I guess. But all the
'Cause they
good
can
guys are going to go for the big money.
100%. But depending where you're at, some like mid majors could pay that quarterback a few million.
I guess so. I just think like, are we going to get another group of 5 team that makes the playoff that was as good as the team led by now Raider Ashton Genty, who almost broke Barry Sanders' record? Like,
I don't know. I mean, that Boise State team was obviously very, very good. I thought there was going to be some chances this year with that USF team earlier in the year. I mean, there's been a lot of teams I thought would be the group of 5 team. They've sort of fallen off a little bit, but I mean, we're going to have to see. Speaking of the group of 5s that are alive, we got 7-1 Navy going on the road at Notre Dame. Navy suffered their first loss of the season last week against North Texas, who is also very in the conversation for the group of 5. But this is the number 10 Notre Dame team in South Bend. What do you got happening?
yeah, as much as I love Navy, love the troops and the midshipmen, I don't know, man. In South Bend, so
At nighttime.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Yeah, and this is a 26.5 point spread.
Eesh.
Just ugly to see. I would love nothing more than to go with the troops here, but I can't. I got to go Notre Dame.
Hey, and if Tulane wins, like you say, Mestermaker and that North Texas team, they're going to be alive too. They're going to be talked about big time. North Texas is the team to look at. Like now, if Tulane wins, like you say, Mestermaker and that North Texas team, they could be the next man up.
That guy slings the rock too, man. He is unbelievable. I just watched a video of him throwing the ball, and it was like him and his QB guru, which I thought it was kind of weird that guy just continued to talk. But he slings the rock, dude. It's beautiful to see. Beautiful. Well, we'll go into another fun game. Am I glitching?
No, you're good.
All right. We'll go into another fun game here. Northwestern at number 19 USC. This Northwestern team is a little bit sneaky, but this is in California. So what do you got, Frank?
Yeah, Northwestern's been a lot better than a lot of people thought. I mean, it's probably is that Oregon's biggest win against Northwestern? Probably. Yeah, out in Southern California though, with that high-powered USC offense, give me the Trojans. They got a chance to sneak in at the back of the Big Ten.
I know, and I'm a big fan of this USC team this year right now. I mean, they've really been surprising. They were in that cusp where they're jumping back in and back out of the top 25, but it seems like they're here to stay, and I'm here for it. I got USC.
I like it.
We're gonna go into a team that I continue to pick against. And Wake Forest at number 14, Virginia.
Virginia. They said it on game day like 5 times on Saturday that they're begging for a loss. Virginia's begging to lose a game. But there's something about that team that always just survives and survives and survives, somehow survives. I really don't know why other than that, but I'm taking Virginia.
Wow. I mean, that's probably the right pick, taking the ranked team at home. I mean, that's certainly the pick you should probably go with, but it's not the pick I'm going with. I got Wake Forest to upset them at home because I'm sick and tired of this team that just continues to barely win against teams they should destroy. This is not the number 14 team in the country, and this is not the number 1 team in the ACC. I got Wake Forest to end their season this weekend.
Wow. That would be massive. That would be crazy. If they
we probably should.
Then what happens with the ACC? The ACC at that point, I guess it would be Georgia Tech leading it, but man, the ACC could get really crazy.
So last week I bet on SMU to win the ACC.
Wow,
they're very well in the hunt. They're 6-3, as ugly as this season has been for them, and I believe they're 4-1 in the ACC.
Only one loss in the conference, so very much still alive.
Very much alive and not getting talked about whatsoever. Also, don't forget about that Duke team or Pitt, who just jumped into the rankings and on a bye this weekend.
I got a Pitt snap for you later.
Good, man. We might as well stay in the ACC while we're talking about it. We got California at number 15, Louisville. This is going to be a pretty fun game to watch. There's 2 offenses that like to go at it. Louisville is favored much more against California than Virginia was last weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, I took the Golden Bears last weekend, and they didn't come through for me. I've been talking about Sungapalatelli all year. He's great. Team is not. So I'm going to go with Louisville here.
You know, it's funny. I took California last weekend too, and I'm going to go Louisville this weekend. And California's probably going to win this weekend.
You're right. They probably will.
Our
And they're probably
entire
going to play a great team game too.
Unbelievable, man. But I do love this Louisville team. It's a shame they had to lose to the fraud Cavaliers over there in Virginia. Just sick and tired of that team. We might as well jump into the SEC, which was supposed to be one of the biggest matchups of the year coming into the year. And then there's coach firings, piss poor quarterback play, losses in games. They've looked bad. This is LSU at number 4 Alabama. It had all the makings to be a historical matchup. I don't know if it does anymore. What do you got?
This game's in Tuscaloosa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, LSU just got stomped at home by Texas A&M. I don't see them coming to play in this game really at all. And Alabama's been unbelievable. Ty Simpson's been there, done that. I like the Tide.
Yeah, I like the Tide as well. I think they're just a much better team. Even if LSU was playing to the potential they were supposed to, I still would have picked Alabama to win this game. I do think with Brian Kelly getting fired, they are going to play with some more life. They're not going to win the game, but they might cover that 9.5 spread.
Give me Caden Proctor touchdown this weekend. It's coming.
I like that.
Come on.
Oh, that would be awesome against
Come
the
on.
Frank, I'm going to give you the choice here. Do you want to jump into the Big Ten or do you want to stay in the SEC for this one?
Let's stay SEC.
I like that. We got number 3 Texas A&M, who is playing unbelievable, and many are arguing should be the number 1 team in the country, on the road at number 22 Missouri. What do you got, man? This is a crazy game to watch.
This is going to be interesting. Missouri, new quarterback making his first start. I forget his name. I just saw it right before this. Sorry, forgive me in case you have a banger game this weekend. I don't know. Marcel Reed, Heisman candidate. That team has been unbelievable. Their defense got kind of shit on by the committee chair. I don't know if you heard that. He said the reason that Texas A&M is 3 and not 2 or 1 is because their defense hasn't been as good as Ohio State or Indiana. Well, they have the best third down defense in the country. They have the most sacks in the SEC. They have the leading sacker in the SEC. So I think the defense might have heard that too, and I think they're going to show up this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I've been betting against this Missouri team for multiple weeks on end. I'm not a believer of them. I do love their coach, but I mean, that's all they really have there outside of Bo Prabula, who's out for the rest of the year, tongue twister.
Well, Ahmad Hardy, who's the leading rusher in the SEC, but once you have no throwing game, it's hard to run the ball.
Absolutely, and I think this Texas A&M front seven is going to do the job. I've been saying all year I'm a huge Mike Elko guy. I love Marcel Reed. I love what they're building over there in Aggie land. I got Texas A&M to win this one, and I don't think it's going to be all that close.
I think so too. I think their defense is going to have a day.
Now, this game right here that I'm about to mention to you is a game I've been bringing up for weeks on end. I've been a huge fan of this Iowa team. They've been beating teams they should beat. They almost beat Indiana. They have 2 losses on the year, combined 8 points. Huge fan of this Iowa team. It is in Kinnick Stadium. Get ready to wave to the Children's Hospital after the first quarter. This is number 9 Oregon at Iowa. What do you got?
You mentioned it. Kinnick, waving to the kids. Tough place to play. It is not a night game. It's a 3:30 start. So at the end of that game, it'll be getting pretty dark. So very hostile environment. I feel like everybody's on the Hawkeyes. I think Dan Lanning's a psychopath. He's going to get that team ready to go. He's going to wave at those kids. He's going to turn around and bite a head off, and Oregon's going to win this game.
Oh, man. I could very well see that happening. I'm not impressed with what Oregon has done this year. They haven't surprised me. They haven't really impressed me the entire year. But I just continue to love this Iowa team. I mean, they play defense over there in Iowa. They got cornfields and defense. That's all they got. Well, now this Saturday, they're going to have another win, too. I got Iowa.
I honestly kind of feel Iowa. I kind of feel it. I feel this something coming out with Gronowski and the boys. They got defense, they got corn, they got offensive linemen, and tight ends, tight end you.
What else could you ask for?
I don't know why. I just feel like Dan Lanning's going to have this team absolutely fired up, And on Tuesday of next week, Monday or Tuesday of next week, we're going to see one of those crazy Dan Lanning meetings with his wild movie reference, and it goes all the way into the game on Saturday, and they're going to come out victorious. I just feel that for some reason. I don't know.
So there's two ways this game could go down, and I'm actually mark me down on the predictions of the scores.
All right.
Either Iowa wins this game 18-15, weird score, I know, or Oregon wins this game 52-12. Those are the only two opportunities. If Oregon wins this game, it is not going to be a close game, and Iowa damn sure is not going to blow them out. Iowa wins this game, and if they do, it's by 3 points, no more.
I heard Kirk Herbstreit on McAfee today say, last minute of the game, students are going crazy. Gronowski with the ball, 15-13 ball game, Oregon on top. 45-yard field goal for the win, less than 30 seconds to go. Iowa wins 16-13. So you're on the same wavelength right there.
Me and Kirk like this, bro. I think this is going to be the game of the weekend. I've been waiting for this game for 4 weeks. I mean, nobody has talked about Iowa except me and you.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the country. And then I saw them getting the rankings at 20. I jumped out of my chair. I was hoping they were in the rankings, but I was kind of shocked they put them in there at 20.
Me too.
But I think they deserve that 20 spot. So we'll see.
Yeah, we've been banging
the game day right here. Number 7, BYU and the Mormons going on the road at number 8, Texas Tech and the Red Raiders.
This is going to be a wild game. Number 7 versus number 8, right? Number 7 versus number 8. This is the first top 10 matchup in the Big 12 since 2022. Massive game. Game day is going to be there. West Texas and Lubbock. This is probably the biggest game since the Crabtree game. This is crazy. And I keep hearing people talk about if they were at that Crabtree game, that it was the best environment they've ever been at. So this place gets rowdy. It's going to be insane. True freshman quarterback on the other side for BYU and Bear Bachmeier. Man, this is going to be a wild game. I like Texas Tech. I've liked them for a majority of this year. I feel like you've been going against BYU as well. So I don't know. I have a little tip on you, but I'm not sure. I think the Red Raiders might get this one done. And I heard that they're going to be throwing tortillas when game day starts, so they don't have to do it at the kickoff. So that'll be cool.
That's what I'm talking about. This is such a tricky game. I don't love that it's a 10.5 spread, Texas Tech's way.
Whoa.
It's a huge spread for a 7-8 matchup. This BYU team is really, really good. Like you said, I've picked against them about every week this year, and I've lost every week this year because this is an undefeated BYU team. I don't know if it's the number 47 number at the quarterback that just rubs me the wrong way, but I actually love their coach at BYU. But outside of that, there's nothing else I like. In fact, everything else I hate. And I'm a Texas Tech fan. I mean, when I would play NCAA 14 back in the day, I would start the dynasty with Texas Tech. Huge Red Raider guy. Loved Michael Crabtree, that sorry-ass receiver.
Hey. That's a Raider legend. That's a Raider legend.
Hey, huge fan. I'm just portraying my inner Richard Sherman. But this Texas Tech team, man, I can't wait to watch them. It sucks they're 8-1. They lost to just a brutal, Arizona State? Is that right? So just a tough loss. It doesn't matter because they're going to come out this weekend and whoop that Mormon ass.
He did it again. He did it again. Has to go against the Mormons every single week. It's almost like a tradition now. That's actually hilarious. But we're both on the Red Raiders. Is that the last one, Sal? Or you got any more?
That's the last one.
Nice.
And I believe both of our teams are still defeated in UMass and Sam Houston State. So look at us. I mean, we picked the games right to win, and we picked the teams right to lose. So
except for last week.
Can't really beat it.
Except for me last week, but we're bouncing back this week. So let's talk about it. So we got to mention these first college football rankings. So let's go through a couple things that I want to talk about on this and a couple of takeaways I had. So you mentioned earlier, some people thought Texas A&M was going to be first. I actually kind of thought that the committee was going to rank them first. I like that they kept the top 3 the same. I just like the way they kept it. But I thought they were going to put A&M at first because you kept hearing them talk about strength of record. That's the new metric. Texas A&M has the number 1 strength of record in the league, or in the country. And they have, I mean, obviously they played the SEC. They've given up a couple 40-point games. They gave up 40 points to Arkansas and to Notre Dame. So I guess that's what they're holding them back defensively. So I guess I can understand that. That makes sense to me. But the big takeaway I found from this was the committee seems like they're rewarding teams for close or like good losses. Like Iowa, we mentioned, like they probably played Indiana the closest all year. Looks like they got heavily rewarded for that because they have 2 losses. Notre Dame, their 2 losses are to Texas A&M and to Miami. That's a little weird, but Texas A&M, the number 3 team in the country. That's interesting. Ole Miss, obviously Ole Miss, their only losses to Georgia. Georgia's only loss to Alabama. So all those teams seems like they're getting the benefit of how good their loss was, as well as Texas Tech, because that was a close loss. So that's interesting. One thing to take note on. And one more thing, the recent games seem to matter a lot more than the games at the beginning in some cases. I got one big scenario I want to ask you about here, Sal. Notre Dame ranked 10, right? They do probably look eye test wise like a top 10 team, maybe arguably a top 5 team. Reese Davis said that during the show. But they lost to Miami and they have the same record as Miami. And Miami's ranked 18th, which is kind of crazy to me. Like that seems like a little bit bigger of a gap. I don't hate Miami at 18. I think I maybe would have put Notre Dame just a little bit lower, just a little. That's the only thing I could think there. But what do you think about that, Sal? I thought that was interesting.
When I was predicting it, I originally had Texas over Notre Dame. I mean, they both have 2 losses. I think Texas has better wins.
Yeah.
But I actually really like these rankings. It's probably the first time the CFB rankings have come out, and I really didn't have much complaints about them. And like you mentioned, it seemed like the head-to-head didn't matter in that scenario, but it's also because Miami has looked bad for a few weeks in a row.
Yeah,
they've had bad losses. I mean, and Notre Dame is on the ascend, and they're beating good teams. They beat a USC team. They're starting to play much better. They are a better Miami team. So it seemed like the eye test really came into this. And you can see head-to-head still matters when you look at the Virginia at 14 and Louisville at 15.
And then Texas Oklahoma too.
Yeah, and they're arguably the exact same teams, but Virginia beat them. I mean, it's the same thing with Texas and Oklahoma. Texas beat them. So they're definitely showing that head-to-head matters, but in this scenario with Miami and Notre Dame, 2 teams that are honestly not even on the same ballpark right now, they're like, why would we put them together? They don't deserve to be together.
And I like it. I like how they have the head-to-head because, I mean, those games were pretty recent. Texas just played Oklahoma a couple weeks ago and Louisville and Virginia, right? That just happened. But week 1 to now, you could be a completely different team. So I understand what they're doing there. I just thought it was a little interesting to see because they don't usually do it that way. You know?
I know. I was ecstatic by the rankings because it almost seems like when they would come out, it seemed like whatever happened the week prior didn't necessarily matter. They just looked at the whole season as a whole, not what happened the week before. But they looked at what happened the week before this year. So
yeah,
I was a fan of the rankings. Not really any complaints. I was a little shocked there wasn't a Group of 5 team in there, but they don't believe a Group of 5 team is a top 25 team in the country right now. So.
I kind of agree, honestly.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, who would you realistically take out of the Group of 5 or out of the top 25? Tennessee?
I was just going to say that'd probably be the only person you could take out, but I mean, Tennessee's going to probably beat Memphis, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so a couple more takeaways. There are some teams that don't really have a lot of opportunities to get bigger wins, like Notre Dame, right? They have a game against Navy. Like, they don't really have a big opportunity for a massive win left in their schedule. Their 2 biggest games already happened, and they lost them both. So those 2 teams right behind them, Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's got to go to Bama. Texas is playing A&M and Georgia. So, like, if Texas or Oklahoma if Texas beats both those teams, they're ahead of Notre Dame for sure. If Oklahoma beats Bama, they're probably ahead of Notre Dame too. So Notre Dame, they're going to have to win out big, and they're probably going to have to hope for that not to happen. Because if those teams take down Georgia or Bama or A&M, chaos could happen for Notre Dame.
I see a world where a 9-3 Texas and a 9-3 OU are ahead of a 10-2 Notre Dame team, even though they've won 10 straight, because they would have better wins. Because if Texas were to be 9-3, that means they're either beating Georgia or they're beating Texas A&M. So, I mean, they would deserve to be higher. I think Notre Dame will still have the chance to be in because all these teams at the top sort of start to play each other. They can start to beat up on each other.
Yeah.
Like BYU, Texas Tech. Whoever loses that game, Notre Dame's going to jump ahead of them this weekend. I mean, obviously, they're going to have a chance to get back ahead with winning their conference championship. That's where that kind of sort of hurts Notre Dame, but you signed up for that when you're independent and you play the same teams every year.
And then talk about Georgia Tech. They still play Georgia. That's a massive, massive, massive game that could shake things up. Depending on what happens before that with Georgia, if they lose to Oklahoma, that could be a massive game. And you're Iowa, dude. Iowa's playing Oregon this weekend at Kinnick, and then they go to USC. So if they beat Oregon, I mean, where do they go in the rankings? I'm not really sure, but you got to bring them up pretty significantly. And then they go on the road to play USC. And if they win again this weekend, that'll be a massive game.
Dude, I'm telling you, watch out for those Hawkeyes, dude. I've been saying it all year. It's all right in front of them. All they control their own destiny. I mean, you're not going to be turning down a 10-2 Iowa team that has wins over Oregon and USC. So all they got to do is win. I mean, it's easier said than done.
And then one more team I want to mention, Michigan. Michigan is still hanging around in that Big Ten, and they play Northwestern this week. They play Maryland. Or Northwestern next week. They have a bye. They're on a bye. They play Northwestern next week. They go to Maryland, and then they play at the Big House against the number one team in the country. If they win all three of those games, they might be going to the Big Ten championship game. Like, they're definitely going to be in the playoff if they win out and beat Ohio State. And they might be playing for maybe even like a top 4 spot in a bye. Like, this could be crazy. This could get wild the last month.
I can't wait to watch. It's kind of shocking because you think with the big name of Michigan at 7-2, you'd expect them to be higher, but they honestly don't deserve to be higher right now than the 21 spot. I mean, they're, with all said and done, they're probably going to win the next 2 weeks, be 9-2. At that point in time, I mean, where would they be in the rankings with how it's been looking? 13, maybe 14, 12.
But then if they beat Ohio State, everything changes.
Yeah, if they beat Ohio State, I'm sure they jump up to like 6.
Yeah, they might be playing for the Big Ten.
And which is crazy to say because they have really kind of been underwhelming all year, but all they do is win a close game. So they're the Virginia on steroids with a better team and a better quarterback.
They're kind of playing like Iowa with just a little bit better offense, like than normal, right? They're kind of just playing a slugfest, and then at the very end, they're going to punch you in with like a 25-yard touchdown run. Like, it's just a fist fight to the fourth quarter, and they take you down to the end. So it's going to be very interesting to see how their games go the rest of this year.
A game I would love to watch in the Big Ten championship is Michigan versus Iowa. I mean, it's two teams. It's in that game, you'd have to find a way if you're Michigan to play a different game because you can't play Iowa's game and try to beat them at their own game because they'll run it down your throat for 2 yards and a minute off the clock every time.
Yeah, and Kirk's dogs, they don't play around. They know how to play that game. And that was the Big Ten championship game just 2 years ago, the year Michigan won the national championship. So hasn't been that long. And one more team, Sal, I want to bring up. You mentioned them briefly. Pitt. Pitt is a very, very interesting team. They could get themselves into the ACC mix, obviously, because the ACC is all over the place. But they have a chance to potentially spoil some seasons. They're playing not this week, next weekend. They're playing Notre Dame at home. Notre Dame's going to Pitt. And then the week after that, they're going to Georgia Tech. So, like, those 2 games are massive. Then Miami, that was massive until this past weekend. But, I mean, those games are in very, very big ACC implications. And if they win them both, obviously that's going to take both Notre Dame and Georgia Tech. But they're right in the mix, too, with a freshman quarterback.
I know everybody's talking about Virginia and Georgia Tech kind of leading the ACC a little bit, but this division is wide open.
Watch out.
You have 6 teams with 1 loss or better in the ACC. That is Duke, SMU, Louisville, Pitt, Georgia Tech, and Virginia. Literally anything could happen in the last 3 weeks. So, be ready because I got this 6-3 SMU team coming out of nowhere to win that. But
that would be nuts, dude.
Pitt is, if Virginia loses this weekend, Pitt is in the ACC championship right now. I mean, seeing how the tiebreaker would go because it'd be a 6-way tie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know,
which is absurd to think about. But
yeah, the ACC feels like the Big 12 from last year.
It does. It does.
It's going to be very fun to watch the last couple of weeks of the season. And college football in November always starts to get spicy. So we're going to see how it goes. And that's going to be it for us. Make sure you tune in next week, see how our picks go. Hopefully a little bit better for me this week than last. So for Sal Grinstead, I'm Frank Rampin. This has been the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. We'll see you next time. Peace.